Hey, what's up, Ray? Carnal? I was trying to get you guys set up here. I'm not sure how good my service is going to be today. Looks kind of cloudy. Yeah. We're going to try to clean off this without tearing it up, hopefully. Maybe it could be a little bit clearer. There you go. Hopefully it makes it a little better. The computer service is a little slow. There was Annie. I'm just trying to set my junk up here to spread the love a little bit if anybody's interested. Hopefully. Then we'll do some corpsing. dirty dog. So it's hard for me to share everything out from here, so it is a pain. I'm just gonna do a couple and let it be at that. But if y'all would like to share this out, go for it. It'd be greatly appreciated. We get into some corpsing. Oh yeah, you work an evening shift, don't you? Well, be safe and enjoy. All right, guys. So what we're doing, as you mostly see, a lot of my corpse casts. These are inspired by Oak Lane Cemetery. But today we're going to corpse this chicken. So he is a couple years old. He's been in my yard for a couple years, and finally I just kind of took him out of the yard and said, "Hey, we're going to corpse this bad boy." So that's what we're going to do. But here's some cats I've done. My meow meows. But we'll move them out of the way. So that's kind of what we're going to go for. Is I'll have a video up of these in probably a day or so if I can find time to get them up. But show you how I did the corpsing techniques on these. But today I'm going to show you live how to corpse your chicken. So what I use mostly is these here from Home Depot, the white rags, not the blue ones. And get you a couple of these out, and what I do is I rip the edges off of them, so we don't have no. You don't want the pretty edges. You want it nice and ripped up and kind of crappy looking. Make it more like a skin type ordeal. And it doesn't matter how you rip them up or anything like that. Just go for it and put them on there. I'll use this one too, I guess. You can do probably this chicken or a cat or something like that, small, with one or two pieces of this Home Depot white rags. This is a very easy and effective way to corpse things, and I think it looks 100% better than doing plastic. Now, of course, if you're in a pinch, by all means, use plastic or something like that if you want. But something like this that really, I think, stands out better is, oops, I got his head turned around wrong, is the white rags latex. So that's what we're going to be using, these white rags and latex. So let me get some latex out and we'll go to town. Now we need some paintbrushes. So what I'm doing today, Ray, is the white shop towels and latex, and we'll use some black latex paint. We'll use some light colored paint and some honey stain. So that's the techniques I'm using today, and it's fairly simple. It's not. It doesn't take that long. This latex dries up pretty quick whenever you're using on these rags. And if you're in like a super hurry, you can always use your best friend. So it's a real fun technique. And to be honest with you, I'd rather use this technique over the plastic bag anytime. But like I said, if you're trying to do something fast, well, I don't even know if it's really going to be any faster using plastic. I guess it would be. But by the time you sit there and you melt it and all that stuff, it might not be as fast as you think. But we're just going to lay this on here. So there's no reason to lay it on there. Just kind of guess at it where you want it, maybe your skin to fall in, and just throw it on there. And take some latex and just start putting latex on top of your shop towel. Like I said, it does dry a little quicker. Now, when it gets colder weather, it will take a little longer to dry. But you definitely don't want your latex out in any kind of freezing weather, or it'll ruin the whole bucket if you do. So, just some food for thought. So, that's what you'll kind of end up with. That's the white shop towel, and that's after we kind of put it in on the skeleton itself. So we'll do a little bit on the wings. So I like doing these corpses without covering up the whole skeleton. So you want to leave a little bit of the skeleton exposed, because you're basically making the skin kind of the last thing to deteriorate off of the skeleton itself. And the beauty of some of this stuff is whenever you start tapping it on your bones and stuff like that, it really conforms to, especially with latex and stuff on there. It conforms to your skeleton really good, and it'll give it a good effect. But you can also, if you don't like how it's on there, you don't want it real thin, you just push it into the skeleton a little more, and it'll define your ribs or whatever it is you're corpsing on. So just like that. So you still got the outline and the looks of the corpse, of the skeleton, but you're basically throwing skin on it. And it does get sticky, so whenever the latex hits your hands, it draws it up really, really quick, and you just have to roll it off. But it'll dry up really quick on your hands. But it comes right off, so if you guys haven't ever used latex, then you'll be fine. So there's the next one. Now we'll do a little bit on the bottom, his tail, and a little bit on the neck and the head. Don't need much corpsing on the bottom because you're not really going to see that part anyway if you got it put in the yard or wherever you put your skeleton, but we'll stick something on here. Like I said, you don't want to completely cover up your skeleton. You want some of them bones exposed. Get turned over here. Yeah, about like that, I guess. Will work pretty good. So this technique is a real simple technique that for small stuff like this is real easy to do, and it's fairly quick, and it's not real time consuming like I do my skeletons. So when I do my skeletons, that is a lot of work goes into those because I use foam and everything else on those to fill in the guts and the chest and stuff like that. Then you have to let it set a while to let the expansion of the foam kind of get done and over with before you start painting it, or it will keep expanding. So you have to be careful with that kind of stuff with when you're using foam. So there's his tail, if y'all can see, his back, wings, stomach. So now we'll put a little bit on his neck and his head. So it don't need to be much, but yeah, it would be a cool idea. I'm sure if I put it on my mailbox, somebody would steal it. But I think these skeleton flamingos are pretty cool looking. They just, they're different. And I always liked flamingos anyway, just whether they're skeletons or the pink ones or whatever. I used to have a bunch of them in my yard just because I thought they were cool. All right, so on these skeletons, what you want to do too is you don't want to do just put latex on the shop towel itself. You can put some on the wings, and what that'll do, that'll give you that yellow look. Like, let me show you, so I can explain it to you a little bit better. Let me find a good specimen here so you can see. So whenever you put your latex on your skeleton, go past the shop towel itself, and that way, whenever you go to stain it, you'll get this like really rotten yellow color, and that's kind of what you want to do is get that color, and it'll look pretty freaking cool if you ask me. So you can see kind of where the latex is there, and like on the tip of the ear, there's no latex, so it's a little whiter on the skeleton, and that's what you're looking for. So we'll go a little bit above on his beak here, because eventually we're going to paint probably a little bit of his beak black here, because they got like a little black on their beak. He's going to have a little dangling skin on his neck right here. So I want to to put a little latex on that on both sides. Then we'll just brush it back over and got a place to hold him here. So there we go. Now we got a little bit of chunk of meat hanging off his neck. So what we'll do next, since nobody likes watching paint dry, we will take and we'll take a heat gun and speed dry this latex a little bit. It don't take much to dry out. But we want to speed up the process. So that back is pretty much dry already. See, the good thing about stuff like this is you can spend a little bit of time on it or you can spend a lot of time on it. It all depends on how detailed you really want to get on this thing. But I think you get a pretty good bit of detail doing it this way. And it's pretty dry. I think it's dry enough we can start painting that sucker. Let me get some paint. If I can find my paint, what I do with my paint? I just had it. Okay. So this is the latex paint I've mixed up. So I will be having a line of this, my own latex paint line coming out next spring. So keep an eye on that. That'll be pretty cool. It'll be some Monster Misfits latex paint. That way, if you don't want to mix your own, I'll do it for you. Let's clean up some of that latex. All right, so what I'll do with my latex, make sure you always shake any of your paints and like the bloods I make sure you shake all that. There's some of my bloods, my Monster Misfits Monster Blood. So make sure you shake all your stuff that you get. And what I'll do is I'll just throw some of this on this board. And the thing with this black, it is going to come out grayish looking, but once it dries, it will get darker. So don't stress if you're thinking, man, that's too gray, it's not black, there's something wrong. You're fine. So now we'll just go through and we'll just paint over our latex and shop towel that we just painted. You don't want to paint the whole thing just where you painted or put the shop towel on. And it don't have to be perfect. You'll be fine if you miss a spot. It's no big deal. And that's the beauty of this technique is it's basically kind of foolproof. It's not like you have to be very meticulous on where you put everything and how it's going to lay and stuff like that. You'll be fine. Now, I'll buy 5-gallon buckets of latex, but you can get a gallon latex or a quart latex or whatever it is you want. It's a little cheaper on a pocketbook because this latex and foams and silicones is not cheap anymore. I think 5 gallons of latex is about 200 and some bucks. And it's going to depend on where all you purchase it, and there is different kinds of latex. Now this is a mask casting latex that I use. So I hope you guys are ready for Halloween. I know some of you are, and I know some of you, like Ray, isn't ready yet, but he'll get it done. He'll get it done. Top up here, a bit of his head. Like I said, I just want to paint where I have put the shop towel. I'm not too much worried about all the latex. It's just a shop towel I want to paint black, and the rest will, once we start staining it and everything, it will blend in itself, and you'll see that yellow rot, corpsey looking color come out. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Now we'll throw some heat on him and dry him out a little bit. So this heat gun works really good whenever you're trying to dry your paints and latexes and stuff. It don't take no time to dry it out. Okay, so it's pretty dry. Still got a few wet spots on it, so you want to make sure before you start dry brushing it that it is completely dry, or it'll just muddy it up and it won't look right. So you want to make sure it's dry, fairly decent, wherever you go to dry brush. Okay, so there's that, and now we'll use some lighter color. So I got this. It's kind of like a yellowish cream slash. I don't know what color it is, but it's what we're using. It doesn't matter as long as it's a light color. There we go. All right, let's see what my brush is. We've got a small brush somewhere. Oh man, I got it. And should make a corpse brown color paint. Yeah, I could probably do that. Yeah, definitely a bunch on the lawn. Yeah, Ray, I know you just having a few problems with stuff kind of burning out on you. I know you'll get it done. Oh, you're getting some building supplies, huh, Rosetti? Awesome. Well, there's always next year. I mean, everything's just kind of screwed up this year anyway. It's just, I don't know what it is. It just seems like something's in the air this year. Parts is hard to get. Supplies have been hard to get. It's just been one pain after another. So let's dry him out just a little bit more, just to make sure we got him good and dry. I see a couple of spots on him is still kind of wet. I want to make sure those are dry. All right, so what I'll do with the skeletons that has a hollow in the middle of them is I'll spray paint them black. Just that way the white skeleton isn't showing up and it looks like crap or anything. So that's what we're going to be doing, hopefully. Not with that one, we're not. Maybe with this one. Yeah, okay. So we'll spray inside of his guts, rib cage as best as we can because it's going to be a tight spot. Maybe a little under his tail and behind his wings and stuff where you can see the white and stuff. Don't have to be nothing perfect, just kind of cover up some of that bone color. Not a whole lot because your stain will take care of most of that, so you don't have to get all crazy with it. Maybe we'll just help it dry. And don't worry about trying to make this shop towel real perfect on there. You do want it to kind of wrinkle and bend over and stuff like that. That's what's going to give you your skin look, and it'll really pop once you do your dry brush. So what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of paint on the brush and just put it on the thing here, and get as much of it out as I can, because you just want to lightly hit it. And if you find that it's not light enough, you can always go back and re-hit it. I do like mine a little lighter than probably most or normal, because I want to make sure that my stain really goes in there and really highlights everything. But this is a project I'm pretty sure anybody can do, even a youngster. Maybe somebody help him with the heat gun or whatever. But I think it's a good little project for anybody and everybody. So don't let using latex intimidate you at all. It's not that bad. Okay. Okay. So that's kind of what you're going for, something like that. That's after you dry brush everything. Might as well dry brush inside the wings a little bit too, because they're a little visible. Just brings out the detail a little bit more. But I mean, you can stop there if you wanted to. That'd be up to you how you wanted to do your corpsing. But I think the next step is what brings everything out and kind of makes it look pretty freaking cool. All right. Roll one. So this is the next step. This is honey stain. A black light. Now that would probably be cool. I missed your all's messages here. Yeah, I've had juju for sure. I guess it depends on how you want to paint. If you want to do some black light paint on this thing, by all means, I would use black light. But you can use probably just normal light on it. Yeah. Let me get a bottle of that black light paint I have. It's not really black light paint, but it is. So it's pretty freaking cool, and it's very, very cheap. So I know some of that stuff can get pretty expensive. So this is Deco Art Fluid Art ready to pour acrylic paint. And it doesn't cost any more than the regular 8-ounce bottles that you get of the other paint. And believe it or not, this stuff shines really, really bright in black light. And this is a green skull I've done. And this thing is just super bright in the black light. So, but I'll probably have 5 or 6 different colors of this, purples and blues and greens and yellows and oranges. It is thinner, but man, I tell you what, it works really good for black light. All right. So now we will clean this brush out a little bit. Yeah, Ray, I heard about that. I heard about that fabric softener stuff. I have to try that though. Maybe we'll need to do that one time. Let's see how it works out. But this ready to pour paint, like I said, it's no more expensive than the regular 8-ounce paint. I don't know what it was, maybe $3 or $4 for 8 ounces. I can't remember. I don't see a price on it, but ready to pour. That stuff is pretty cool. And I've used it for a while, and I was like, I wonder if that stuff glows. So it's like, I had a black light, and I was like, well, let me check it. And checked it, and it did. So it's pretty cool. All right, back to our corpse. Now we're using honey stain, and we're going to put that all over our corpse chicken here. So my brush is a little bit too big for it, but it'll be fine. And we'll just smear it all over this thing. And what I'll do is I'll break my skeletons up whenever I start corpsing or start staining, is I'll do a little bit of the stain, then I'll wipe it off, then I'll go back and do another section somewhere else. That way you're not letting your stain dry in one spot too quick. Okay. Then we'll just go back and wipe him. I'll just dab him off. I don't really wipe him off. I just kind of dab him off. And I'll show you the difference between, hopefully you can see it real well, but I'll show you the difference between the latex on the skeleton itself versus no latex on the skeleton. I'm hoping you can see that kind of good. So you'll see where this is like really yellow. That's where latex has actually hit the skeleton itself. And if you look here, it's not that yellow because we didn't put no latex on this part of the skeleton. So just by using that stain and latex, that's going to be the difference in latex on your plastic skeleton versus not. Which I think it just adds more character to it and gives you another level of decomp or something. And the beauty of using this stain this way is if you want it to be a little darker, just let it set a little while, and it'll, you don't want it completely dry out, but let it set a little while, dry it up, or if it's real thin, just go ahead and, of course we've got a racetrack outside, but you can go back over and darken that corpsing up a little bit if you want. It all depends on what you're looking for, how you want to do it. So I'm in a residential area here, and I don't know why people wants to run out there like a freaking mad Max in their cars and stuff. I just don't make no sense with kids and stuff around. They treat it like it's super highway out here. So there we go. You kind of see the difference in stain, no stain. Now, I know it's probably a little weird looking, or you can't see the details as good on the video, but if you guys have ever done this, you'll be like, wow, man, it really looks good. The details really come out in this thing when you stain it. That's when you can see all your work coming together. Makes it look really good. Okay. I'm gonna do his head. And his neck. Now, if I have no latex on the skeleton itself and I got a big bunch of it, I will let that set a little bit just to darken it up so it doesn't look so plastically skeletonized, I guess you could say. I'll try to show you this before I wipe it off, and then we'll show you after. So it just kind of looks like blah. But we'll go through and I'll just pat off some of the stain. I don't rub it, I just pat it off. All right, now look at his beak. See, that's just plain skeleton. It looks kind of flat. So what you do is whenever you put that latex on there, now you see that yellow coming through, then you'll see kind of like the flat of the beak. But we'll probably paint a little bit of that on here. Paint a little bit of his beak black. Not a whole lot, kind of, I don't know, make it look a little better, I guess. Okay. And we'll just do that simple. I'll just do it over here so I don't spray the camera. And there we go. Now we sprayed his beak. But you can see the like you got your, whoops, let me get you. So you got your skeleton collar with stain on it. You got your latex collar with stain on it. Then you got your black and you got your light color on your shop towel in the latex. And that just helps bring it out a little more. So now we'll see if we can't help him dry out a little bit. And then we'll put a coat of clear on him. And I like using matte clear on these. That way they're not very shiny. They just kind of look like they're corpsey. Kind of like a corpse. And that clear coat will help set everything in. And like if you got it outside, it'll help from washing it away. All of the work that you've done, you definitely don't want to wash away. You know, it's probably kind of hard to see me. And I'm way down there. So you don't have to get this stain super dry. Once you spray your clear coat on there, that'll help dry it out even more. So you'll be fine. Let me see if I got some clear coat out here or not. I know I did have. Yeah, we do. All right, gloss clear. All right, so now we'll just throw some clear coat on it. Like I said, I used matte clear 2 times. Now, if you want it nice and shiny, you can use gloss if you want to. Now just give them a good old coat just to help seal everything in. Yeah, it's probably more than enough clear coat. Then we'll just help dry it out a little bit. And we put a lot of clear on him. As you can see, kind of see how shiny he is. He'll dull down here in a minute once it's drying up. It's just real thick with matte clear. Now. So always move it out of your all's way where you can't see it. So I'm just speeding this up for your all's purposes. That way I don't bore you guys to death and you can see kind of how the corpse, just about anything. And that's going to be my next video that I put out, is how to corpse just about anything. But it'll be basically, we're just corpsing the cats. My phone was about to give out on me here. We'll let that second cool down a second, see how far it gets. Thanks, Renee. Thanks, Rosanna. Yes, sir. Oh my goodness sakes. Okay. So if you guys get them little plastic spiders or the cats or whatever it may be in the Halloween stores right now, I do use a specific kind of cat, but those things are starting to, even this flamingo is starting to get hard to find anymore. Like I said, I've had this one for probably 3 or 4 years, and it's been outside in my yard for a couple by my flagpole, so I figured I'd just, why not? Why not just corpse that bad boy? And let me see if I can straighten these out a little bit. As you can tell, it's all been up. Somebody ran over my stakes and kind of screwed them up, but we'll straighten them out a little bit. Try to anyway. I do not have my doggone vise and stuff set up yet. Yeah, straight enough. So now we'll stick that bad boy up in his leg hole. And then we'll do this, straighten the next one up and do the same as that. So there we go. There's our chicken. There's our chicken, and he's ready to go back in the yard. And that's probably hard to see with everything in the background. Really need to get me a specific spot to video this stuff. Yes, a chicken on stilts. You know, this thing has really done good. I figured that plastic would probably deteriorate and be really shattery. Been in there. It's been in the yard probably about 3 years, I would suspect, and it's done pretty good. So, I've got a couple rattlesnakes. You can corpse any of these skeletons. They're real easy to do. Even some of the small stuff like the little spiders and stuff, you can throw a couple little corpse pieces on it and really enhance it or whatever. But there's our chicken. There's our chicken. Here we go. I can see you. So there's our chicken. I don't think it turned out too bad. I'm sure you guys can probably corpse it a little better than I can. Or if you got better ideas on the corpsing to make it more realistic looking, put them in the comments or let me know how you guys corpse. Now you can just keep going and going. You can use cotton balls and just different stuff like that on your corpses if you want to. But this is a simple, easy way to corpse just about anything. And we didn't really try real hard, but of course, you know, I do a lot of corpsing. Let me show you these cats. So, hey, what's up, John? So these are the other cats I've done. Now, this is inspired by Oak Lane Cemetery. He did a cat like this. I don't think it shows you how to corpse it or anything, but he put a little mechanism in there and made it jump back and forth, which is a cool idea. I just corpse mine. But I did a cat, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 years ago, but I never did. As before, I really didn't do anything. Just, hey, just throw some plastic on it, and there you go. I didn't try to maneuver any of the bones or the legs to give it more character. And I think that's what also makes your prop as well. If you can find some way to to manipulate the bones on your skeleton and whatnot, then just put it in a weird position or look at corpses and stuff like that. I know it sounds kind of morbid, but look up dead corpse cats on the road or something, and they'll show you kind of like mummified, petrified cats. And I've actually got a squirrel that I did in 2011, a real squirrel that I found in the attic. And I wrapped some little bandages around him and kind of gave him that Egyptian style look. So, and he's in my cabinet somewhere. But that's kind of my corpsing technique. And like I said, these are fairly quick. I mean, we did this within an hour going live, and if you just throw your stuff out there, a zombie squirrel, that's a good idea. I like that. But if you got something small like this, it's not going to take you that long to corpse anything. So we spent an hour. Now, the last time I did this, it probably took me a couple hours, but I did 3 corpse cats. Now, I did one a while back, but I did 3. It probably took me an hour and a half or something to do that many. But the reason why the cats took a little bit longer is because I articulated its paws, its back legs, its front legs, its neck. So that will take you a little bit longer. And I will tell you, whenever you start articulating these bones on these cats and stuff, some of it's pretty thick. So you're going to have to hold your heat gun there a good while, or you can use a soldering iron or something like that to kind of melt it and bend it a little bit. But be careful. Make sure the whole thing is melted real good. Because what you'll run into is if you go to bend this before it's melted enough, it will snap. So trust me on that. I've done it. So just be careful with that. Make sure it's heated up all the way through. And with it being thick, it will take you a few minutes to do that, but you'll be fine. But now that you know how to corpse just about anything, really simple, just some, hey, Norman, what's up, brother? Just some simple shop rags and some latex paint. I mean, it don't even have to be latex paint. If you want to just spray paint the stinking thing out of the can, by all means, spray paint it like I showed you. Just spray paint your shop rag and do a light coat of something on it, then stain it. You'll be fine. It's not going to hurt it. But for my purposes, we use latex paint. So, but you don't have to. You can use shoot, what do I do with it all? You can use number 2. Number 2, 2X black if you want. Always use flat. Try to use flat most of the time. Use clear, a matte clear. And if you want to, you can also take, if you want to dry brush any of this kind of paint, what I do is I'll cut a piece of cardboard off and I will spray this paint on the cardboard. Then I'll dip my brush in that. And you got to work kind of fast because this stuff will dry fast out in the open on cardboard, and especially if it's real thin on the brush. And you can dry brush it that way. That's another way to do it, and you won't have to have any special latex paints and stuff like that if that's what you so desire. And they're fun little projects. You guys run out to the Halloween store and get you a chicken or a squirrel or a kitty cat or whatever it is you want, and corpse that bad boy. And when you do corpse it, post it on Monster Misfits Facebook group. We'd love to see your corpsing technique. Or if you found a better way than I have, share. Uh, this ain't something that I just came up with. This has been around for a while. I know a lot of people use blue shop rags. I've tried those, and I just never had no luck with the blue shop rags. White shop rags is the way to go. Do not use regular paper towels. It's not going to work out for you. I'm telling you by experience. I had a buddy of mine use regular paper towels, and I've used regular paper towels. It doesn't work out too well. So make sure you use these rags from Home Depot, or I'm sure Lowe's probably has some, but I get the white. And these things, there's 200 disposable rags in here, and I've used these things on all kind of corpsing. And I think I've done about 8 to 10 big skeleton corpses, the cat corpses, now the chicken corpse, just about on anything. So that is the way to go. And the good thing about these shop rags is they're fairly thick. I mean, they're nice and thick. So it's not like they're real thin, cheap paper towels. They're pretty good, but they rip really nice. And once you rip it off, you get that frayed edge. And that's what you're looking for when you start doing your corpses. You don't want it manufactured squared, because that will show up in your corpse. So I think it's a cool idea. Like I said, if you guys do it, your corpsing, if you do a corpsing like we just showed you, post them on Monster Misfits. If you have a better way, show them on Monster Misfits. Maybe I'll try it one time, and heck, I might find a better way to do it. Or sometimes it's not always what you're looking for is the quick way to do it. Of course, everybody wants a quick, easy, cheap way to do things. And to me, I think this is quick. I think it's easy, and I think it's fairly cheap. The only hurdle you're going to have is probably the latex, but get a gallon of latex. You can use it on multiple projects. So I don't think you'll go wrong if you purchase a gallon of latex. But if there's some other way you guys use your corpsing techniques other than plastic, because plastic is kind of old to me. I've been seeing that for years. But it is quick, and it's cheap, and it's easy. But take your corpsing to the next level. Do it this way. And if you want to go a little further, there's a couple more ways you can add to this. You can use cotton ball, and you can also use rubber cement. Rubber cement and a heat gun. You can throw some rubber cement on here with your little roundy thingy that comes in the cement, and at the same time blow it with a heat gun, and that'll help dry that rubber cement onto your corpse and dry it that way too. Then dip your cotton balls and stuff in it. It'd be pretty cool. I've seen it done. It looks good, although it is a very long process. But you kind of get the idea of all that stuff. But anyway, guys, there's my hour's worth of knowledge to you guys. We hope you put it to good use, and we hope to see all of your corpsing chickens in the future. So love to see all your all's chickens. Anyway, y'all have a safe and happy Halloween. And you use parsley wire, brush, jute, twine, smashed with chalk. Hey, that would probably work pretty good, John. Another thing I saw on corpsing before I let you all go, somebody used, construction adhesive. I've seen that done. I mean, it's going to take a while for it to dry, but it looks pretty cool. I've seen them just take construction adhesive, if I can spit it out. Rub it on their hands, rub it all over a corpse, and once it's dry, it looks pretty rotten. The only thing is, I've never tried it, and I'm not sure how, painting that would look. But anyway, as always, guys, we appreciate you watching, and don't forget to run out and get you a chicken, preferably a rooster. I mean, I think it's a rooster. But we'll see you on the next video, guys. Be safe. Happy Halloween. Keep it creepy.